When you're coming to art class, I know you might need to run and get a drink of water, go to the bathroom after your other class, but please do your best to do that quickly and be on time. Your teachers probably already talked to you about this, but after your little break, if you take one, make sure you are in a quiet place. If your pet ran in the door, maybe make sure they're somewhere that they need to be so they're not distracting your peers. Now be prepared. Double check that your computer still has energy. If you've been using it all day, it might run out of battery. So you want to make sure it is plugged in and that your camera is on. Use your headphones if you have them. That can help eliminate any distractions. Mute yourself. This is a big one, and I'm sure your teachers have talked to you about it. But when you are in a Google Meet, if you don't have your microphone muted, and then we have a bunch of people in the meet together, that will get crazy because the computers will have what's called feedback, and it's this crazy loud noise that will probably drive you insane. So the best way to prevent that feedback from happening is to make sure your microphone is muted. And if you don't know how to do that, no worries. I will show you how, or your teacher will. Now, participation. Be focused, be attentive, be an active participant. What does that mean? We're listening and we are paying attention to what the teacher says as well as what the other student says. Be an active participant. Now, sometimes I may ask us to have a conversation. Sometimes another student will show us some of their artwork, and I might ask you to give them a compliment or tell us one thing you noticed. I want everyone to participate in these discussions when we have them. Your responsibility. If you have something to say in class, just like always, raise your hand before you say anything or type a question into the chat box and I can always respond. Please don't all be speaking at once with your microphones on because not only will we have that feedback, but then no one will be able to hear what you're saying, just like in a real classroom. Now, communication. Making sure we're speaking clearly, looking up when we're speaking. That way everyone can see your eyes. It's so hard to make connections when we're over a computer. But if you're really looking into that camera and looking at the people you're speaking to, it helps them to remember that information. Now, stay on topic. I know when we're hanging out with our friends, it's easy to go off and have side conversations. Now, sometimes in art, if we have time that day to work on our artwork, I might let you guys have little side chats with your buddies, and that is totally fine, but it has its time and place. If it's time for me to be talking, or if it's time for us to do an activity together, you need to respect your guidelines. You need to respect the directions that I gave you. And that respect plays a great role. That's our last rule with the Google Meet expectations is respect. Be kind, be considerate, be patient. This is such a hard time for everybody, and we need to learn to have some understanding for everyone because everyone's problems are real to them, and we all have unique situations that can be hard. So even if you're not feeling good, try to make sure that you are being kind to your peers and to your teachers because sometimes your teachers have bad days too. And so we need to all work on being patient with each other during this challenging time.